Welcome back from the desk of Lo. I have with me a DJ, a creator, and an artist. He's hailing from Buffalo, New York. He also has a vast discography for what I've seen on his Bandcamp. And without further, and he's featured on the Locks on a hook. But we get into all that after. Without further introductions, I have L-Biz.
Yo, what's good?
Oh, we just
Salute to the world.
we just in the lab. We cooking up. How about you?
Oh man, same here, man. I stay busy, man. That's my tagline. That's my slogan. You know what I mean? Like, I work a lot, man. Work hard, man. Got to.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's your website's name too. I stay busy.
For sure. It's it's a way of life, man. You know what I'm saying? Work hard, play hard, stay busy. That's what it is.
So for the people who are not like up to date with you too, can you explain the name of L-Biz too? And was that always your first stage name, sir?
Ironically, no, it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I went through a couple of names, but you know what I'm saying? L-Biz stuck. It was given to me by a close friend of mine. At the time, I was doing like comedy skits on people's mixtapes and stuff like that. I used to call myself Low Budget, and it was kind of around the time when the Snoop Dizzle, the Jizzles, and all of that stuff started to pop off, and one of my homies would always call me Low Bizzle, and I just kind of flipped it and took it from there. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like acronym is concerned, it's directly connected to my love of business. You know what I'm saying? I love the game. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be the hustle outside of music or inside of music, man, I love it all. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just the love of the business.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. So it's just not like straight up something you came up with. Like my name's gonna be L-Biz. It actually resonates from what you have as a passion.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a story behind it. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of went with it. People was actually like, they was cool with it. Like, salute to my bro G4 Jack. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first really got into rapping, you know what I'm saying, I was still using the Low Budget moniker. You know what I'm saying? And boys was still rocking with me on it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, and it was a true testament to what was really going on in my life at the time. Like, boys was broke, man. We was struggling. You know what I mean? So that's what it was about. You know what I mean? Granted, it was on some comedy stuff, but it was just real life. You know what I'm saying? We were struggling, but we was making it happen.
How was it like growing up in Buffalo, sir?
Oh man, it's I love it here, man. Truth be told, man, it's a lot of horror stories that go on. You know what I'm saying? Like, with the violence in the city and the economics of the city being low and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But I wrote a song about it called For the Low. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, people say that the city is broke, but it's a lot of people that come from here that's making money and making moves. You know what I'm saying? It's just some of the moves that's being made is not stuff that you can really televise and glorify. So, you know what I'm saying? It's under the table. You know what I mean? But it's cats that's out here making some cash. And it's a beautiful place, man. It's a beautiful place. Plus, man, I ain't got to worry about no earthquakes, no tornadoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit like that, man. Snow is cool. Snow melts, man. Earthquakes, man. That's some different shit, man.
For the Low record, that's off your Canada mix, right?
Yeah. It's the Canada Day mix. I had an opportunity to go perform on the Empress of Canada yacht this past couple weekends ago, and I made a special mix for the people that was out there. You know what I'm saying? Or just in general, you know what I mean, to celebrate Canada. I got some family members that's from over there. And, you know what I'm saying, the fact that the Raptors won the championship, the NBA championship, and just the fact that I was there, I wanted to make sure that people had an opportunity to take a piece of my artistry away with them. So all of the songs that I performed on the yacht, I actually made available for, for consumption as a collection of songs.
And you also never know what people gravitate towards too either.
For sure. Like, it gives me an opportunity to kind of see, what the people is liking. You know what I mean? Like, some of those records, most of those records have been released already. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of put it together, for the sake of, like, these are the songs that I feel like represent me as an artist when I perform. You know what I'm saying? From my love of the business, with with the intro song, the Get You Some record, you know what I'm saying, where I really talk about just grinding, you know what I'm saying, how important it is for anybody that's rocking with me to bring something to the table, because I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? from that to obviously for the low to give people an opportunity to kind of take a view or take a walk with me through the city as I see it. You know what I mean? And this, and then there's some fun records on there too, but it's really all rooted in my love of the game and my love for the hustle.
So I was curious too on who you took to inspiration while growing up in Buffalo.
Inspiration, it's crazy. My one of my older cousins, his name is Rock Bottom. He kind of inspired me to do music and start rapping. You know what I'm saying? He was a super dope MC. He actually used to work with DJ Shay, who is who is responsible for a lot of the successes on the Buffalo music scene, past and present. And you know what I'm saying? He ended up,
shout out to Shay.
Yeah, Shay, that's the big homie. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I wasn't doing music, but my cousin Rock Bottom was, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he was one of the best MCs in the town, and he ended up being diagnosed with MS. And so it took a lot from him, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's right now, he's like in a wheelchair. He can't talk, he can't walk, you know what I mean? But I know he had a strong passion for music, and that's kind of what got me started into wanting to be involved in music.
Yeah.
So that was really good for me.
And see, this is what I love about, because like Buffalo is really getting its shine, the Buffalo's really getting its light shined on them now. But like, there's a whole history of Buffalo like that people are just learning about now, like, because like, I believe that Griselda really is starting to put like Buffalo, like, to show the history too, because like I love hearing stories about like DJ Shay's like Buff City Records, or when the Zombies were like killing it with the mixtape game. So like, I was curious too, like when all of this local stuff was going on in the city too, like what artists were like you like actually listen to from your city too as well? Like back, like, let's say like the early 2000s. So anywhere from like the year 2000 to like the year 2008.
2000 to 2008. Well, let me see. 2000. That was kind of when I ain't gonna say when I first got on the scene, but I would say around that time, like the late 90s, early 2000s. There was a cat named Kareem that was popping. He was popping. Like, he had a single that was in a video that was playing on BET at the time, which was super super big, because it was like that was like what I'm saying, the early internet phase, and people still was buying CDs and cassettes around that time a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely CDs, but not so much cassettes. But he was popping at the time. There was another rapper by the name of Adion that was popping at the time. You know what I'm saying? The Buff City thing was still big with DJ Shay. Benny Conway. It's another producer by the name of Thugsman he's a producer, MC that was killing it at the time. And he's like one of the guys that, you know what I'm saying, that I kind of got an opportunity to work under, as I developed my artistry, because I came in the game singing, you know what I'm saying, like singing hooks and stuff like that. So, those guys were who I was listening to mostly as far as local stuff is concerned. You know what I mean? It was definitely like the Buff City movement, the upstate movement. There was a movement called Baby Steps at a spot called Broadway Joe's, which was, like a staple for local hip hop at the time. And then there was a record label called DTR, where an MC artist by the name of Idris was kind of killing it then too. So, and then actually, truth be told, like Electricity, the kid that he be cutting hair for Griselda and all that stuff, like, he was one of the illest MCs. Why is this, Kev? I know he still got bars, but I'm just saying, for the sake of the question, that Malek was crazy with it too. So it's a lot of hip hop history that people won't know, that they don't know, because they're not familiar with the city, but they're kind of getting a wind of, and they asking questions, and we get an opportunity to tell the story. So, you know what I mean? And then I want to say, like, leaning in towards 2008, like from 2001 to 2008, it was still kind of those same people. Some of the older cats kind of fell off, and the Baby Step things changed and all of that stuff, but it never stopped being Buff City with DJ Shay, Benny, Conway, Thugsman. At the time, I started to get my start and created or was part of creating a group called A Status and Still a Hustle Records. We had a big like we was kind of shutting shit down at the time too with the Zombies. Rest in peace to D Black, and it was a lot going on around that era. You know, Crush DVD was going on. They was competing with the Come Up DVD, so it was a lot, man.
It was a lot. I'm a Crush DVD too. I was curious too on how you know Corey and BA from the Zombies.
Corey actually shot a few videos for an artist that I was promoting and producing for and writing for.
Oh wow, you do it all, jeez.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. Like yo, like for people that don't know, I sing hooks, I write songs, I mix and master and engineer, I rap. You know what I'm saying? Like I do graphics a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I DJ some. Like I do some of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what you have to make sure that you maintain your value in this game, because once you've done, you know.
Oh no, you can keep going. Sorry to cut you off. I'm just agreeing with you.
No. I'm saying like it's so important to be able to diversify your talents and to be able to have other skills that you can bring to the table. Because I mean, there's a million rappers. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, like you can only rap. Like you can't like rapping ain't gonna mix and master the track.
Right, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like, when you're dealing with, again, you know what I'm saying, like, my name was low budget, so I had to learn. Like, I ain't really had a cash at the time, and I wasn't, you know, like, early on when I started rapping, I really wasn't into in the streets heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was doing shit so that I could make sure that my bills was paid.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't on no Benny shit. I was just doing what I had to do to make sure that the lights was on. You know what I mean? And whether it be working or, you know what I'm saying, dibbling, dabbling, a little stupid shit that I was doing. But I always was the one, regardless of who I was working with, to be willing to do the other shit that other people wasn't. So, you know what I'm saying, like, fast forward to, like, I want to say, like, 2014, when two of my homies, that was in a group called Alma Ave, I was producing and writing hooks with them and all of that shit. They started to get some looks from Def Jam. And Def Jam was like, yo, well, we gonna send y'all on tour with Joel Ortiz. And they was like, you know, they was gonna hire a DJ, and they didn't want to tap into their budget for the DJ. So they called me up like, yo, we need you to figure out how to DJ. We want to take you on this tour. And we told them that we got somebody that could DJ for us. At that point, I had never DJed before in my life. You know what I'm saying? So my first opportunity to DJ was like, they bought the equipment for me, gave me the stuff, let me sit with it for like a week. And then the week after that, we was in Stanhope, New Jersey, hometown of producer Illmind, with Illmind and Joel Ortiz on a tour. You know what I mean? Like, my first 2 times DJing was in Illmind's hometown and in Joel Ortiz's hometown, performing for hundreds and hundreds of people, like some thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm always that one. You know what I mean? My number get called, you know what I'm saying? I answer the call, you know what I mean?
So as opposed to like you managing artists and like DJing and let's say a visionary too, what artist was Corey shooting a video for that you were working with?
It's a rapper. She actually models now, but she was rapping at the time. Her name is iRock. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, her name is iRock. She's dope, man. She was really dope. And I don't know how heavily she's pursuing music now, because she ended up moving from Buffalo to Alabama and then went from Alabama to Pittsburgh. So she's been bouncing around. But, you know what I'm saying, at the time, like, she had a little single deal out in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we was grinding it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, did a few records together, and, you know what I'm saying, I wrote some stuff for her, helped her out with some stuff, you know what I mean? Like, did some cypher work and stuff. Like, we was really going, you know what I'm saying? But, it, you know, things change, people change, life happens, you know what I mean? So, but salute to her, you know what I mean? Like, iRock, she definitely helped me out with helping to build the brand, the I Stay Busy brand. Because, man, like I said, man, it's always something. I'm always working with, whether I'm working with somebody or working on my own shit, it's always something going on, man. So, it's perfect for me to say that I stay busy, because it's the truth.
I was curious on the very first time you ever heard of the Locks.
The first time I ever heard of the Locks?
Yeah, like coming up, like the very first like time like you've been exposed to the Locks.
The very first record that I heard from the Locks was, I want to say was 24 Hours to Live.
Oh wow, that's
I
Harlem World right there. That's Mace's record.
Yeah, that was like one of the first records that I heard from them. You know what I'm saying? Like I started to dig in and try to find out who they was when I first heard "Get at Me, Dog," though, because I was a really big DMX fan.
Yeah, and Sheik is on the hook.
Right, and Sheik was on the hook. So I'm like, yo, who is like? That's not because at the time it was like, yo, like the video, it was so raw that they was only showing it late night. You know what I'm saying? And I was young at the time, so I wasn't ever able to catch the video. So all I had was this, I had tape I had a tape. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, who is the other guy that's on the hook though? Because I was obviously like me being and having my hands in so many different things in the industry now. I was really into like reading the credits on the cassette covers and the CD inserts and all of that stuff. So I was like trying to find out who these people was. And when I found out that he was in the Locks group, and I heard 24 Hours to Live, and I'm like, oh man, like I've been a fan ever since. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and from back then too, like it's crazy how things play out because when the Locks first came on the scene, everybody thought Sheik was going to be that one to blow up first, but as time went on, it went Jada, Styles, and then Sheik did his underground run because like Sheik's still active in the underground, but I still argued that he never got that much shine like Jada and Styles, but he actually talked about like that in one of the records too when he felt like quitting because of his mom passing. So I can see why he didn't like go how like Jada and Styles went when they were first going off of their solo career, but like,
right.
but like when you're like listening to these artists too, and then like let's say like I don't know how long that actually record came about. I think that was 2014. Like you have a record of them all these years later. So I was just like curious on like how that feels like after like all of this years of like finding like who they are, and then like you have a record of them all these years later.
You know, it was surreal, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a believer in God. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that things happen for a reason. You know what I mean? Like at the time, you know, like it's a crazy backstory to that too. And at the time, you know, I was kind of meddling with my own music at the time, but I was really more so focused on doing stuff behind the scenes, like with engineering, and I was working with the group Alma Ave, you know, before we ended up going on tour and all of that stuff. And, you know, around that time, before that record happened, I ended up, you know what I'm saying, I ended up engineering a record for Alma Ave and Freeway. And, you know what I'm saying, and that song, the guy that produced that record, shout out to my man Jimmy Dukes, who's my partner now, he produced a song and his manager heard it and hollered at me and, you know what I'm saying, like, or hollered at me about getting with them. But, you know, things worked out to where we ended up able to do some work together. And when he presented the record, the first record that I was able to get placed with them called The Product on the sermon, the third sermon.
Yeah, third sermon
mixtape. And, you know, he was like, yo, like, man, these joints is crazy. I sent him like 3 records. And he's like, yo, these joints is crazy. I can't wait to send it to him. Like, I think, like, Sheik was in Hawaii at the time. Like, everybody was in different places. And he was like, yo, I'm going to wait until they come back. And when they got back on a Sunday, or Sheik got back in town on a Sunday, I'll never forget it because I don't usually do no work on Sundays. So dude called me like, yo, Sheik said he in town. He coming to the studio. I'm going to play him them records. And I want to say maybe like later on that day or the next day, he called me like, yo, he in the studio, like loving these joints, that Product joint. He's saying this and that on the record. I'm like, I'm psyched, but I don't know what it means. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how the game goes. Like I even got records with people that I thought I was going to put out that never came out. You know what I mean? So I didn't know what was going to happen. So, but man, he did that, jumped on that record. I thought it was going to be a solo record, but then Sheik and Styles heard it and hopped on that joint. And we were supposed to be on the second sermon, but they thought the beat had a sample in it, so they didn't put it on there. But then they doubled back and put the third sermon mixtape out the following week or something like that. So, and it was just like, wow, it didn't even sink in until probably like a year later. You know what I mean?
Because it's just like it's so fast at the moment, like it won't hit you till like probably like a couple months or a year later.
Yeah, you know what? The crazy thing about it is Corey is the one that kind of made me think about how big that opportunity was. We was on a set shooting for my homegirl IROC. She was doing a freestyle video, and and I think we was waiting on her to come to the location, and he was like, man, like, yo, you got a record with the Locks, man. You don't know how big that is. And I'm just like, I really don't. Like, I don't understand. I really couldn't understand it because I have such bigger, you know what I'm saying, like aspirations on myself that doing one record with them was just not enough for me. I wanted to do so much more. And even when I got a chance to meet them and meet Dazel, who was their head engineer and one of the in-house producers there, and he was like, man, how did you feel when you heard the news about the record? And I'm like, bruh, truth be told, I just wanted to do more. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was it. Because again, it's like I stay busy. I don't have time to sit down and just enjoy that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning how to do it now to just enjoy the moment. But at that time, I was so hungry, and I'm still hungry. So it's hard for me to sit back and be like, all right, that's fire, man. Like, yeah, let's celebrate. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I need more wins.
Yeah, I know what you feel on that. It's just like, it's like, okay, that was a W, but I'm trying to get more.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was really like that. Like, if I could equate it to anything, you know what I'm saying? I'm a basketball fan. It's like that first game that a rookie get off in the NBA. It's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You dropped just 17 points. They started talking about how dope you is as a player. But you like, man, I need to do this 81 more times, plus the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to do this more. Like, this is great. We're going to celebrate this win tonight. But tomorrow, we back at it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how the fam go. You know what I mean?